Welcome to another week of Thrasher Opera House Presents. Today is really exciting because we have somebody new to introduce. I'm here today with Jason Mansmith, who is our new Marketing Director, and we could not be more excited to have you on board, Jason.
Oh, I'm so excited to be on board. It's unbelievable. So,
What
a cool opportunity.
Most folks out there know you from working at the Ripon Chamber of Commerce for many years, and just from being a community person in the community of Ripon for years. So now we have you over in Green Lake, and I think you're such a music person.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
It was the thing that kind of really interested me the most, right? I've got a huge love for live performance and music, and what a neat opportunity. And coming up on 2 weeks into the gig here, and it's been absolutely fantastic. I still keep coming back every day, right? So
we're glad about that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been a really neat opportunity. I've learned so much already, and there's a lot to process and everything that goes behind Thrasher. So it's really been fun.
It's every day at Thrasher is a learning process. We, because we're always doing a new show, a new genre. It's ongoing, and that is the exciting thing about working here. The other cool thing about this is that for the last several years, you've always interviewed me on the radio.
Right.
So now I get to interview you.
Yay! This is a new opportunity for me, I guess.
I think you're better at it than I am.
Well,
so
you do a pretty good job.
I think that'll be just one of the many assets you'll bring to Thrasher, is just being able to interview artists and get the word out about the cool stuff we do, because it is constant. Almost every week of the year, Thrasher has an event, and it is all the genres, and we're trying to target different people every week, and we know the stuff we have is awesome. We just got to get it out into the world, and so now we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm here to do. And I just don't think people realize how much goes into what takes place here. Like the amount of research, the amount of work behind the scenes that goes into bringing these events here. It's unbelievable. And the contacts that you guys have and the people that you're able to reach out and connect with, it's unbelievable as to, the quality talent that you guys bring in.
Well, and you'll learn this, and I'm sure you already know this, that because we have a big reach, but we're also a small venue, so we get to know our patrons really well, as well as getting to know the artists pretty well. Like leading up, especially doing these interviews, it's been fun to sort of get to know the artists before they get here. A lot of our patrons come show after show, and we get to know them really well too. So that, I think, is a special element to working in a place like Thrasher. It's not just an audience member that has a number on their ticket and away they go. It's just more than that.
It's always a good opportunity to see old friends, right? So my first show kind of coming in and working was Gangsta Grass, and I ran into a bunch of people that I haven't seen in a while, but it was so good to see them here, and we all had a great night.
Yeah, it was a great night. That's right. That was your first show. Mm-hmm. What a good first show.
Yeah, no doubt, right? It was fantastic. Like a new kind of element that hits Thrasher. Never done a hip-hop show before, and not sure what to expect, right? And we tore the roof off the place that night. It was awesome.
It was pretty fun. So now you've been a music fan your whole life, I'm sure. And right before you started, you went on vacation and saw how many bands? How many concerts in the span of a week?
Yeah, it was somewhere anywhere between 7 to 10 shows in about a week span there. So it was pretty intense, and I haven't had that chance to go, right, for a long time because of COVID and those things. So I'm a dork in the fact that I track every show that I've ever been to my entire life, and the internet has the ability to allow me to do so. And these are only national acts. It's not like local bands and bar bands and things like that. So I'm over 360 or something around there in terms of actual concerts that I've been to. And I have them all tracked, and it's everywhere from the heaviest show in the world that you'll ever see to something really light as well too. So
that's like two more reasons I'm super glad you're on this team. Number one, you're a music lover, and I think, how could you work here and not be?
Right.
And two, you are like a data nerd, which I love that. I relate to that so much. And so the combination of being an arts person, but also a data person, I think is really important in the arts organization world. And that might be something people don't realize, how you have to have that ability to be creative and flexible and all the things that go into the creative world. But then you also have to have the data-driven mindset of like what numbers work and what they mean and how we make the numbers work for us. And so you've got that awesome combo.
Well, I'm gonna put it to good use, right? Because for some reason I love getting lost in the weeds of numbers, because I always say data makes great decisions, right? It helps you make great decisions. So the chance that I can funnel that down and finite it and just get it really, it's dorky. I get it, but
I love that nerdiness.
But
I'm with you.
it makes for good fun for money. But then to have the creative side of it too, that's the fun too.
It's so important. You got to have a creative.
Got to have the release. Got to have the outlet for it. So we can get buried in the weeds a lot, but you got to just let it go every once in a while.
I didn't realize I was such a numbers person. In college, I had to take a psychology statistics course, and going into it I was like, this is gonna suck. And it turned out being one of my favorite classes I've ever taken, and I still think about some of the things I learned there and apply them today. You don't necessarily know you like that stuff until you start doing it, until you start digging into it, and then you can't walk away from it. It's a little bit like gambling. Like, I want to get these numbers right before I can walk away for the day. Yeah. That happened to me yesterday.
I was a radio, TV, film grad in college, and one of my favorite courses that I ever ran across was community development planning, right?
Which is
right. So urban development and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, how is this going to work in? But I kind of like needed some credits in this area, right? And I ended up taking it. I'm like, man, I kind of really like this. So creative placemaking. How do we, do those kind of things to make the environment better?
Isn't that funny how the thing you think you're going to do in life kind of turns out not to be the thing you do, and you just stumble on these other things that, everything opens a door. So I was an autism therapist before I started working here, and it was kind of the same thing. I was just looking for something creative because that's what I was lacking in my life. And lo and behold, this can have everything. This kind of job has everything you need. Creativity and data. My favorite.
And that's why we love them, right? That's why we love what we're doing. So, it's a passion thing, right? For sure. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I don't think you can do it if you don't have the passion. I encourage everybody who's been following us for years to say a little hello to Jason, welcome him on board. If you don't already know him, I encourage you to get to know him. And just like the rest of us here at Thrasher, we're a small team. You will get to know us, whether you like it or not.
We will be at you, no doubt about that.
In a good way. So you'll be helping us promote our upcoming shows. Right. So why don't we just talk briefly about the next one, because it's the next thing happening.
Right. So Jig Jam coming up here on next week, Saturday. So you can enjoy that show. Tickets still available for that. And then we're on a little bit of a run after that, right? We got Carlene Carter coming in on after that. And then May's going to be super busy around here as well. So we're excited.
Yeah. Jig Jam combines bluegrass and Irish. So rounding out our Irish season, we've just had a lot of Irish, but then introducing sort of the bluegrass country run that we're about to have, because it goes Jig Jam, Carlene Carter,
Mountain Heart,
and then Mountain Heart.
Yeah.
So, I would love to say that I planned it that way and it turned out perfect. It just happened that way with the universe, and I just think what a nice progression of shows.
Well, let me tell you something. My first week here, I got to do an interview with Josh from Mountain Heart, right? And so Rachel's like, hey, take care of this. I'm like, all right, cool.
I got to go.
Right? So do this stuff. So it was really neat, but I didn't realize, like, the players that are in that band, they've been on the Ryman stage over 130 times, right? I mean, you can't get any bigger than that in the world of country music. Grammy award-winning, nominated folks. And, like, the players that are coming with them are just phenomenal musicians. And here what it's going to be in Green Lake.
I know. We do it all the time,
right.
Man.
It's so cool.
It's great. Well, thanks for joining me today.
Absolutely.
And thanks for joining the Thrasher. We're going to see a lot more of you on these podcasts and everywhere else.
Certainly do appreciate the opportunity, and I would prefer to go back to interviewing you from here on out.
We can do that.
Okay.
All right.